Hi, I'm Amaya, and welcome back to The Amaya Show. This is my podcast where I talk about current events in K-pop. Let's get started with our first topic. This one is that CORTIS had their first concert of their tour recently, and fans were reacting to how they performed all of their songs. No, they performed 8 of their 12 songs multiple times. Some of the songs they performed once, which was only a few of them, like their slower songs that are less of the typical Cortis style you would think of. Then they had 8 songs that they performed more than once. Of those songs, some of them they only performed twice, but there were songs that they performed up to 5 times. And some fans were saying, this is something you guys should have expected with them only having 2 mini albums out right now. Other people said that they should have done. Whoa, does it move with me? Okay. Other people said that they should have done covers or something else to break up the concert as opposed to playing the same song multiple times. So here's my take on it. I also don't get why, if the reason for it is that they don't have enough songs, then I would say hi. What are they under? I don't know what label they're under specifically, but their label should have waited to send them on tour then, if the reasoning is that they didn't have that many songs. I think what they were going for was like 17 does Aju Nice. They do it several times. It's like a never-ending song. So I think they were going for something like that. Or people have said that Travis Scott does a few songs like several times, like Fiend, he does multiple times during his concerts. So that's the vibe. But I think that it would have it would have probably come across better if they didn't do it with so many songs. If it was just like, what's their biggest hit? Probably Fashion. If they just did Fashion several times, then that probably would have came across a little bit better. I also, me personally, when I go to a concert, I don't need solos. And really, I'm trying to think because NMIX was my favorite. Okay, when I saw SF9, they did solos, and I liked their concert. When I saw NMIX, they didn't do any solos, but NMIX also has uh way more songs than Cortis does. SF9 does as well. Every other group I've seen has had way more songs than Cortis does out right now. So that is their issue really. I think solos probably would have been the best way to break it up and it would have shown each individual member, but because of the type of group that they are, there's so many different things they could have done. They could have done like a James dancing section. Like each member could have had something they did on their own that didn't have to be just performing a song. Like um Martin produces some of their music, right? So he could have brought out that little producer kid on stage. Billie Eilish does this at her concerts. How sometimes, or it's the same thing Justin Bieber did at the Grammys. They take out that little box and they'll make a song on stage. That would have been something super creative to see a K-pop artist do if they could have made that happen on stage. James choreographs dances, right? So he could have danced to some of the songs he's choreographed, or they could have done like there are so many different creative things that you could do aside from repeating your songs several times. So I do get if people didn't like it, I do understand that. But at the same time, they have so few songs that they really would have been like, would everyone get several solos? Because we have to talk about them repeating songs like 5 times. A solo would only be one song, maybe two. There's only 5 members. So that would have been 5 members, 2 solos. Okay, let's just figure that the songs are 2 minutes. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30. That would have been 30 minutes. But that definitely wouldn't have replaced all the times that they repeated songs. So they would have needed something else. Maybe, yeah, but they're a creative, like outside the lines type of group. So they definitely could have been able to come up with something different from just repeating their songs several times for sure. I wouldn't like to go to a concert like that. I saw several people saying that they liked it though. So I think it's just about the type of fan base that they have. Being they're a little out there, I guess, but they are still a K pop group. So I think I would have preferred something like that. Several solos, do something a little creative, do dance covers to other groups' dances, like maybe an interactive segment with the audience, make it more like a fan concert. I believe that's what they call them. Make it more like a fan con maybe, as opposed to a tour. Maybe those are ways that they could have worked around their short discography. Maybe teased a new song. Do K-pop groups ever do that? Like teased a song to be on their next project? They did just release one though. Maybe that was all they had. But that would have been something interesting as well. I think there's a lot of things that they could have done. Next up, we have JYP's new girl group OURBIRTHDAY. So they're debuting in two segments. One half of the group, three members came out with Hungry, that's our title track, side A, and then four members are going to be on Hungry side B. So okay, well, first let's talk about the song. Hungry, I did not really like it. And I wouldn't say I'm would I say it left me hungry? Yes, but not wanting more. I think the song is it just didn't strike me as a JYP group debut. I think their most recent group that debuted was Kickflip. Their debut I liked with what was their song called? Dun 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 dun. Great. That song, I mean, it just stuck out to me a little bit. It didn't feel like something everyone else was doing at the time. Hungry to me doesn't stand out that much, but it's just one song. So I'm sure they'll come out with something more interesting, more unique, you know? Who came out before them? Before Kickflip, we had Next Z. Their debut, I did not like Next Z's debut song, Ride the Vibe, but I've liked almost everything they've come out with since then. So and that song is really interesting because I don't hear any elements of that in their more recent music. I'm not gonna keep going back. NMIX, I've talked about their debut in a video actually. I'll link it in the description. Uh, but I've known JYP groups to have kind of more unique debuts. Maybe this is their pre-debut. Okay, I just looked it up and this is considered their debut song. So I definitely am not into that. I will say, can they call their fans candles? Candles, wishes? There's a lot of room to go there. Wishes, uh cakes, not really, like cupcakes, nah. But yeah, those definitely they have some good fandom name options for sure. Anywho, wasn't a big fan of the song. Uh Even like the dance didn't really stand out to me, which was surprising. I thought that there would just be something that felt like, wow, something that felt really attention grabbing, and I just didn't have that. And okay, also there was a bit of a scandal. This is around not a scandal. People were just talking about how one of their members is named Baby. Well, I don't have any comments on that. That's just her. What's wrong with that? Hybe also is going to be debuting a new girl group called Tude. Uh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tuide. I think it's Tude, like attitude. And I guess we'll see. Also, guys, I am like not to be that person. They did the New Jeans fourth anniversary posts, right? Of course, Danielle was not in them because she's no longer in the group. Um, it just showed the girls, they were wearing some, unique type of outfits. Minji is there. I was not previously aware that Minji was coming back. So we had Minji, we had Haerin, we have Haein, we have Hani. All of them were in these teasers and everything for the group to come back. And the only thing that I'm noticing is I'm feeling like I said in my video when Danielle was removed from the group, the fans aren't gonna like it. I feel like the fans aren't going to like this. You guys have seen my New Jeans posters. Like New Jeans is the first group that I saw debut. I can go through my story of being a K-pop fan another time, but basically, so I was super excited with that, and then they popped out with this stuff, and it made me want to get more into K-pop. So I really really liked New Jeans, and I feel like with everything that's happened to them, there's nothing they could do that people would like. If they come out with the same stuff, it's going to be tired and boring. If they come out with something different, it's going to be this isn't who New Jeans is. Mind you, New Jeans did everything. They did R&B, they did they had a song like Ditto, they had all I'm thinking is Cookie, which I do not like that song. I don't like Cookie. They had ASAP, Like they had songs that were super cool with you. They had super shy. Like Nugents explored a variety of sounds in their very short time together as a group. Supernatural. All of these songs sound very different. So there are a lot of sounds that they could explore and still stay true to the New Jeans that we all knew and loved. Now, the the fact that they're debuting, Hype is debuting a new girl group around the time that New Jeans is set to come back is something that I am definitely paying attention to. I do think that's not something I would have done, especially with we know how strong New Jeans bunnies are. They're a very passionate fan base. They've waited years for them. Like there are so many groups where the fans are not going to wait 2 years for you guys to come back. And so I think them debuting a new girl group when New Jeans is supposed to come back is kind of like I get the idea, of course. You know what I mean? Like the group is going to be riding off of, oh, New Jeans is coming back. People are going to be paying attention to Hybe more. We're going to debut another girl group. But this is kind of the same thing that people were saying happened when New Jeans made their first debut, with Le Sserafim debuting just a few months before them. And you know what I mean? So I don't really like the look of all of this. I don't know what type of, if I had to pick what type of style should New Jeans do, I say, I, okay, what's my favorite song from them? Probably, you know what? I'll make a separate video on that. I'll make a video on what style should New Jeans go for in their next project. What I would want to see from New Jeans going forward. I'll do a video for you guys on that. And okay, let's go to my next topic. BTS performed at the FIFA finale like it was a show. They performed at the Spain versus Argentina game, the finals. That's what the right word. Uh, and I think this was really cool. Now this gets, I know, I remember when the Super Bowl happened and people were like, "What if BTS did the Super Bowl?" I don't think BTS will ever do the Super Bowl. I think the Super Bowl is like, I have never in my lifetime, no one who is non, well, no, Rihanna did the Super Bowl and she's not American. So you know what? I guess you can. The Weeknd did the Super Bowl. So yes, you know what? Now, I think if they had maybe if they had more songs that were like American radio hits, perhaps. I did not think about that. At first I thought that only Americans really did the Super Bowl, but obviously not. So I don't see why not, as long as people want to listen. Well, I believe like with the people that are currently the head of the Super Bowl halftime show committee or whatever, I don't see them doing it soon, maybe in like 10 years, because I think they like more hip hop, R&B focused artists. We haven't had someone pop do it, I think, since Lady Gaga. So it's been, or, well, whenever Shakira and J-Lo did it, maybe that was the last time someone who doesn't do R&B or hip hop did the Super Bowl. Well, The Weeknd is pop. Anywho, we can get into that another time. They performed at the FIFA finals, and yeah, I'm not a big soccer fan, and I think BTS are really good performers. So I think stuff like that they always do really well at. And we have something else. I keep forgetting to put my favorite songs on the list, guys. Anywho, okay, let's interrupt to talk about my favorite songs from the past few weeks. Now, this week, I am giving myself a bit of lenience, and I'm going to extend not just my favorite K pop songs, but my favorite songs overall. You know what? There's a song I'm going to listen to before I do this list, and I will be right back. Okay, this most recent New Music Friday gave us a ton of songs to listen to. Let's talk about my absolute favorite is, oh, I forgot the name. My favorite, my absolute favorite is "Ain't in LA" by Adele. That song is so true to her experience. It just really feels like a relatable song for everyone. And I mean, I guess unless you're from LA, but I just really like that song. It feels so nostalgic, but it's the type of, it's nostalgic, but it's not the same thing that everyone else is doing. It's not the Y2K. It's more 2010s. So I think, and I think it's really well executed. The visuals for it were great. I just really liked everything about it. Then we have Espa's Kiss and Tell, which is another song that I really liked. It's it's fun. Again, the visuals were nice. They got a dance break in there. Um, we got yeah. It's just I don't know. Like it's it was fun. It was good. Uh, and yeah. So now on to some of our um. Oh, I remembered. Water Bomb happened. I am completely unaware whenever Water Bomb is coming because they keep playing with the US with it. Uh and then another thing too is JYP. JYP has a song called Wet, which is kind of crazy, but you know what? If you like it, I love it. I, I yeah. Hey, I have a good finale. I just remembered. Some of the Twice members are supposed to be leaving JYP Entertainment, and while normally this would be like, oh my gosh, no, Twice is so big and so successful that I don't think anything negative of this. I think it'll be great for them. I don't think it's going to put a damper on anything that the group could achieve. I think that they're going to do great. Now, will they be touring as much? Probably not. But from everything that I've seen around, like the circular stage they had set up for their last tour, the members didn't really like it that much. So maybe a pullback on touring is good. So far, they've been releasing like one album a year, and that's definitely doable with the members being under separate companies. So I think that's cool. Great for them. And those are all the topics for this week's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hype this video so it goes out to a larger audience. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!